Rocío González. Mucha gente me conoce desde hace muchos años porque mi apellido era Rocío Poli y preciso por la noticia fue que tuve mucho auge como agente de bienes raíces. Entonces también soy otro testimonio que la noticia le ayuda mucho a los empresarios. Después era la directora ejecutiva de la Cámara de Comercio Latinoamericana de Charlotte y también teníamos muy buena colaboración y últimamente con esta organización con la que estoy, que es el Women's Business Center of Charlotte, también por medio de la familia Pupián y todo su equipo, nos han podido dar la oportunidad de informarle a la comunidad de todos los eventos educativos que tenemos. ¿Okay? Les presento también aquí a Sheila Obregón, quien es mi Program Manager. Aquí tenemos el Guatemala New York Tana Combo. Tenemos otra persona que es el Program Director, que se llama Lee Soldier, y esta semana hemos estado súper ocupadísimos. Ella está en otro evento presentando también a nuestra organización. Yo voy a hacer la presentación toda en inglés y luego le voy a dar la oportunidad a Sheila a que hable un poquito en español. ¿Correcto? Okay. No. ¿Me escuchan? ¿Me escuchan? No. El que no me escucha, que levante la mano. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Bueno, primero que todo, first of all, thank you to Enlace. I remember when we would participate at different gatherings and we would be talking about, oh, what did you do last weekend? How come I didn't know about that? And what were you doing? And then I have a family. Well, there's these resources. And a lot of community activists, because I feel Enlace is a community activist organization, decided let's put an organization together so that we can all connect and kind of inform one another, all the wonderful activities, resources, support, news that happen between the Latino community and other organizations that support the Latino community. So we're really excited to be a member of Enlace as the Women's Business Center. This right here says the National Institute of Minority Economic Development, and sometimes people look at me and go like, why do you have two logos? So it's because the National Institute of Minority Economic Development is an organization that has been in that has been providing support to the entrepreneur community for more than 35 years. This is a non-profit organization that started in Durham, Raleigh by a lady by the name of Andrea Harris, because she was seeing the same thing that the government was seeing, that there were resources provided for small businesses, and small businesses would be helped, but there was a big gap on minority-owned small businesses. And then when they would look, they would see that there was also a big gap between women-owned businesses, and way below a big gap between minority women-owned businesses. So she wanted to bring this data to the forefront to say to the government, hey guys, you have all these millions of dollars being invested in small business, but women and minority-owned businesses are still left behind. So she started with a research and impact policy center, and then out of that, it was like, well, what do we need to do to provide them the opportunities that they need to have? So then that became another part of, well, we need to educate them. We need to provide them business education. Okay, now they're growing. What else do they need? They need money. We need to provide them access to funds. And okay, now they grew, they have access to funds. Now they're big enough to connect with corporations, with looking for government contracts. What can we do? We also set up another system that is called Center for Entrepreneurship. So I'm going to go through this slides very, very quickly because I would love to hear from you, to hear your questions, also give Sheila the opportunity to provide some points. So just to kind of highlight the biggest points here, our mission as the Institute is to strengthen the asset base of diverse populations through policy, education, and economic opportunities. And our vision is economic prosperity for diverse populations. We cover about 5 different states. We have more than 51 team members now. when I was first hired in October of 2021, this month is gonna be my 3-year anniversary, I was employee number 25. We have grown potentially and exponentially because there's a lot of need, you know, with the pandemic, a lot of people came out saying, where is the help? People that have been in business for many, many years, they never asked for help. Now they were asking for help. And now that they see that there's help, and help for free, at no cost to you, I just learned something yesterday. Yeah, it's for free 99. Free 99. Go like, oh, I'm gonna steal that. And the discount is at 99. So anyway, all of a sudden, all these funds that came out, people were asking for them, and now the funds are depleted, but people are still coming saying, I need to strengthen my business and support my business. How can we receive some support? The 4 line of businesses is best shown in this specific slide. So to wrap up what I said at the beginning, if you look on the left-hand side, you see the Research, Policy, and Impact Center. This is where we have a group of doctors in the research field gathering a lot of information to bring information to the federal government, and Governor Roy Cooper has taken some of our reports to make decisions on how to invest in the budget for North Carolina. So we are in the arena of affordable housing, appropriate education, and resources for businesses. That's really what we want to concentrate on. Then from there, we started with the Center for Entrepreneurship. Excuse me. So the Institute, because the name is super long, so we just call it the Institute. The Institute, 25 years ago, opened the very first Women's Business Center in Durham, Raleigh. So you might be saying, wait a minute, why women? If you don't want to help men? So the story behind it is that the United States Small Business Administration, about 40 years ago, came to that same decision and noticed that according to the data, minority women-owned businesses were still left behind. There was a big disparity between this annual sales of women-owned businesses and annual sales of regular small business. So the SBA said to nonprofit organizations that support the economic development, if you guys want to open a program solely focused on helping women, we're willing to provide you some funds, but then you have to raise a match. Just kind of like a reimbursement. You have to request funds from other organizations and then say to SBA, look, we did raise $50,000. Can you give us back this 50? So it's very quite difficult. And as we speak right now, there's 145 women business centers throughout the United States. So for example, Nebraska, which is such a gigantic state, they only have 1 women's business center. What I'm happy to report is that North Carolina already has 6. And the Institute opened 3. Opened the one in Raleigh about 25 years ago. The one here in Charlotte was opened about 7 years ago. And then this past year, they opened another one, a 3rd one, in Greensboro at Bennett School, which is an all-women HBCU. That's historically Black college and university. And then we also have another one that was opened 3 years ago in Richmond, Virginia. Okay, so we have a large scope. We also have another program that is called SBTRC. SBTRC stands for Small Business Transportation and Resource Center. What do? They connect with large corporations that are related to the construction business and connect them to the minority-owned businesses that we help so that they can obtain contract opportunities. We are, the WBCCs are solely funded by, or partly funded by SBA. SBTRC is funded by the United States Department of Transportation. So DOT helps them, SBA helps us, and we all educate and connect everybody. So these infrastructure bill funds that are coming from the federal government to the state, to the local level, providing opportunities so that the airports can be fixed, that the roads and highways can be fixed, that the tolls, the bridges, there's like bridges that are 150 years old. All of those things are going to be repaired, and we want to make sure that there's contract opportunities for minority-owned businesses. What constitutes minority? Naturally, African American, Latino, women, veterans, LGBT. So we support all of them.
People with disabilities.
And people with disabilities. Thank you so much. Yes, that's it, number 6. So anytime you see anybody falling through that, please make sure that you bring to their attention that there's a lot of resources that we can help them with. And then, lastly, the Center for Community Investment. Why is this guy sitting there? He's enjoying my conversation. We have a troll. I look around and he's like, the Center for Community Investment, we are not a bank and we are not a credit union. Meaning, we're not going to give you a checking account, we are not going to give you an equity loan in your house, we are not going to invest your money. All we do as a lending institution is provide you funds for small businesses. So it's a commercial loan. So if you want to build houses for affordable housing and you need a loan, we can help you with that. Or if you want to grow and strengthen your business, we can provide you a loan. So this is what is called the CDFI, a Community Development Funding Institution. And they are a 501c3 also. Okay, it's called Institute Capital. So we provide the data, we help you grow with education, we help you grow with the money. Okay, now you're big enough, now you need to figure out how to connect with the food liners because your janitorial company now has 15 employees and I think you're ready to work with food line. How do I get into the supplier diversity chain? That's the lingo. The supplier diversity. How are we supplying these large corporations? How are we helping CMS so that when they get yes for the school bond, and now they're going to build 30 schools, you have the Latino building community and the people that work in the roofs and the windows and the flooring and are we counted in there? The painting, the decorations, the yards, the gardens, the parking decks. All of that is what supplier diversity is, and that's what we come into play. To call upon all the minority-owned businesses and teach them to be prepared for the contract opportunities. Now I'm going to speak faster. These are many examples of how we have provided support to different cities. For example, in Durham, they have hired the Institute to do specifically that. They said, we have a lot of contract opportunities, a lot of building, a lot of infrastructure, and we don't have access to minority-owned businesses. What can you help us with? So they have hired our organization to make those connections and prepare them so that they can improve their city. This is ICAP. This is the lending institution. We used to lend from 50,000 to 750. Now we're doing microloans. Microloans mean that you can start at $10,000. The big banks, they don't want to give you $10,000 because it's just too complicated for them, really. Let's be honest about it. So when you go to self-help credit union or any credit union, they may be looking into helping you, but if for some reason you're unable to qualify with them, then you go to a CDFI so that we can help you get that little startup loan so that you can begin to build your credit history and become stronger. Okay? We have also been the organization that helped North Carolina distribute grants through the pandemic. So when North Carolina said we have these millions of that, we have $18 million that we need to disperse to small businesses, how are we going to do all that? Who's going to do all that logistic? Who's going to look at the applications? Who's going to decide who gets it or not? So they hired us, the Institute, and they also hired Carolina Small Business Development Fund, and they said, You guys get 9 million, you guys get 9 million. You're helping from A through L, and you're helping from M to whatever, to Z. And that's how they figure it out. So if your application was a G, then you came to us and we looked for the application, it was yes, approved, you get $15,000 or $25,000 as a grant. This was in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Those funds are no longer available. There's no more funds for the pandemic. Now we're talking more at a local level. So I talked to you about the Institute, which is the organization that holds our program. Now I'm going to speak briefly about our program. The Women's Business Center of Charlotte, again, was funded 7 years ago. Our mission is to promote economic self-sufficiency for women entrepreneurs. We empower women by offering the tools, resources, and business development opportunities essential to establish businesses. Our platform gives women the confidence to stabilize companies, generate sustainable profits, generate sustainable profits. 8 out of 10 small businesses close within 1 year because they didn't have good basis, because they didn't plan enough, because they didn't have enough money, because they didn't plan on getting enough clients. And we want to prevent that. We want to support you and help you from the very beginning, so you not only open a business and file a form with Carolina Secretary of State, but that you begin to have a sustainable profit. It's not a hobby. We need business. Okay? We also want you to help the community. We are located at one of the buildings at UNC Charlotte. It's called the Portal Building. It's really cool because we have beautiful classroom space, but not everybody wants to go to the university. So sooner or later, we're going to see if we have the blessing of doing a classroom here, a class here, at Belmont Center, somewhere in Pineville. So if you have any access or space like this where we can have AV and you want us to bring our information, the most beautiful thing is that WBCC is funded by the government and all of our services are free of charge. The only thing that we charge for is for a conference. Everybody has to pay for a conference. But we love to bring information to you in English, in Spanish, and I'm happy to report that we just provided one-on-one business counseling in Portuguese. And apparently it worked well because she's setting up another appointment with us. The initial appointment, you never know, but if they come back, it's because it was good. And also we're looking into, we have already identified a facilitator to increase our classes in Arabic. And she also speaks Amharic. So we're beginning to expand because if we're saying we're helping the whole community, we have to bring these resources in other languages. We cover 12 counties. It's not just Mecklenburg County. Now that circle is huge, it's kind of different to make a circle look like a bubble. But we really cover from Alexander to Anson, from Lincoln, Catawba, Cleveland also, all the way to Stanley County. They have your churros there. Rowan, Cabarrus. So if you know of anybody that is in that area, some of those rural areas don't have enough resources. And maybe their only resource is their Chamber of Commerce and they don't have the money to pay for a membership. Please let us know so that we can go there. We just did 2 years in a row the Anson County Small Business Summit, and a lot of people from Union County, Anson County, and Stanley County showed up at the same place. So we need to talk about that too. And I want to do it in Spanish. We provide classes on Google, on QuickBooks, on human resources, on payroll, on access to capital, on strategic thinking, on leadership and community. We have ladies that have come to us saying, I'm losing sight of my business because I started cleaning houses with my sister, and then we started to get more houses, and now we have 15 houses and I have 5 employees and I have no idea how to do it. That's the pain of growing. That's the pain of growing. And now I need to buy more cars. Oh, we can give you a loan. Let me help you understand how to do a profit and loss statement and a balance sheet and a cash flow projection So you can get a loan and you can get 2 more cars and you can hire 5 more people. You're creating more employment opportunities. That's what we want to do, help them grow. We do one-on-one business counseling. Sometime after a workshop, you learn what you could learn, but now you have to have a conversation specific to your business. That is another great opportunity that you can have. This is our team right here. We also have different facilitators that have expert knowledge on something specific. Now when it comes to legal issues, you need an attorney, when you need to get your taxes done, you need a tax preparer. But we will provide you business counseling as much as we can to the highest level of knowledge that we have. If we are lacking that, then we have other facilitators that are experts in that field. And if then later on you need professional advice, then we can connect you to the professionals that we trust. This presentation I made yesterday, so you have more names here. John Ham is the Vice President of the Center for Professional Services, the arm on the lower left-hand side that connects people with Atrium Health, with Food Lion, with Novan Health, with Walmart. One time we were connecting a gentleman that does this is a conspiracy. He has a business on wrapping cars, right? And Atrium had just bought 25 cars and they needed to have them wrapped within 1 week. Boom, that's your connection. That's your connection. You mean you never know. You never know. Another thing that I need to tell each and every one of you is you need to obtain your certification with the City of Charlotte and become a member of Mecklenburg County's vendor list. You don't know how important that is, and every county has that too. Let me give you an example. In 2012, when the Democratic National Convention came to Charlotte, of course the government is coming here. They're not going to hire any Julio Sanchez that they don't know about. So what did? They went to all of the list of the certified businesses from Mecklenburg County and from the City of Charlotte. And they only hire them there. And all of a sudden they see that, where are the beauticians? Where are the dog walkers? Where are the, what do you mean? They don't think that they need to be certified. It's like, yes, we have all these very prominent people coming to your City of Charlotte for 2 weeks. We have dignitaries from other countries and they're going to bring their puppy. And they need someone to walk it. And you have to be certified by the City of Charlotte to do that. They had all these people from Fox News and CNN and all that stuff. Where are your makeup artists and your hair people that are getting our nails? We're not going to go to them. We want them to come to us, to the hotel room in the penthouse. But you need to be certified by the City of Charlotte. So even if you do nails, you need to certify your business because that's also another opportunity for contracts. You do cakes. Do you know how many meetings City Council and Mecklenburg County has to celebrate birthdays or to do anything like that? You need to certify yourself with the city. They call, oh, we're celebrating the birthday for the City Council. Let's buy the cake from the minority-owned businesses. Look at the list. Oh, Manolo's Bakery. He's the only one there. And then everybody's so jealous because he gets all this stuff. Come on now. I'm going to piggyback on your stuff, Wendy. We all complain that how come our voices are never heard? Well, we don't go to vote, and then when we have someone Latino, we don't go vote for them either, so that they can be our voice. So este es el regaño de Rocío. I'm talking like a mom now. Now, I am going to give Sheila the opportunity to say some words and invite each and every one of you to be part of our group for free. Yeah, Sheila!
I will give you all the presentation in English, from English to Spanish, so don't worry, I'm just gonna give a summary, okay? So, buenos días.